Be not afraid. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. Be not afraid.
Rock and roll, eh?
We got theme
It's
music.
hilarious. Yeah. A little bit of Jason Derulo auto-tune on that one.
Oh yeah. And just for fun, I wanted to just play this song because I think those topics we were talking about earlier kind of triggered something in this one. Sitting on top on my pile of gold. Always want more. It never gets old. I have so much, but it's never enough. Sitting all alone on my pile of gold. Flying all around, looking for the town. The next sacrifice, gonna burn it down. You can run and hide, but you'll never be found. Flying all around, burning it all down. It's hard for you to understand this job I do and how old I am. I carry on with so many names, but I remain the same. Dark cloud filling up the sky. I'm the poison in your pie. Bad spirit up on the hill. I'm the cancer and the pill. Dragon flying up above. I'm everything you hate to love.
That Watiko spirit is laying dormant within the heart and soul of each and every human being. Watiko. That just came to mind.
What is Watiko?
It's the negative entity that essentially
Lurking?
engulfs throughout like all of humanity, you know. I can't remember the guy who speaks on that. I learned that on a podcast by a guy named Paul Check. The guy's name's Paul Levy. But that's a Native American theme, I believe, the Watiko spirit. And, you know, I call it Satan. It's known by many different names, but that's what you're talking about.
The Drago.
Evil.
Yeah.
The evil that lingers in this reality we inhabit. In the spiritual, right? Because everything starts in the spiritual realm, and that's a reflection in the physical realm, and
Yeah.
everyone thinks it's just all occurring right here, but
Manifesting into the physical realm.
yeah, the unseen.
Yeah, there's I feel it's manifesting sometimes too in our own physical bodies with our
Possession.
and like
Yeah.
stress and anxiety and bad thoughts, ruminations of badness. And yeah, just I was telling you about the other night, I went to bed and like this kind of dreaded fear and despair was like permeating my body, getting balled up into my throat and like in my heart, and then in my head, like making me feel like, I don't know, just something bad was gonna happen, and I just kind of had this dreaded feeling, and I asked for help. It's like I was praying for help, and I felt like there was these protective spirits and angels and like entities that were just like right there with me, And like I was describing it to you in Sierra, like they came and like within my body, like held those spots that were worried and anxious, and like put their hands around it and just started melting it away from me. And I was like shedding a tear and being like, oh, they're right there for us when we call them. And it's like the goodness, or God helping us when we need it. But you need to kind of, I guess, call out. You got to ask for help. You got to like humble yourself to it. And even though some things seem to be going so good sometimes, it's just still, stuff is happening in a way that it's gets caught up in the moment, gets caught up in the body and your mind. And I was definitely feeling, susceptible to something.
Spiritual warfare, man.
Spiritual warfare.
Bigger than ever before. Like, look at the state of humanity. That's why we're suffering mental crises. It's a spiritual crisis, if you ask me, because no one's connected. Well, not no one, but for a large part, human society, particularly in the West, is completely void of God. Most people laugh at that now, despite the fact that that's what led our civilization since the dawn, and in turn people want to become their own gods. That's why artificial intelligence and self-help psychology and the occult is all on the rise all at once. Everything's happening in tandem. And this is
more disconnection.
It's more disconnection, precisely. So it leads you further and further away from yourself and from God, and the thing is, like, God created you. God knows you more intimately than you could ever possibly know yourself. So if you truly wish to know yourself, you have to begin to have a relationship with God so that all within yourself and your true nature can be revealed. And people will scoff at that, or maybe they won't, but you got to really take that into account and experience it firsthand, because, you can't relate anything that you have not experienced in your own life. That's why people can give you advice. People can tell you things that you should and should not do, but you can only apply that directly if you choose to do so, and then you actually have the experience as a result.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you could really see for yourself by looking at what you're connected to, looking at what your connections are, and then just kind of loosely kind of having not a judgment on it, but say, what am I really connected to here? What are you connected to? Or what are you disconnected from? And it's like your spirit, your health, your moral agency, your like kind of logic, your ethics, your like code of conduct, your courage. Are you connected to those things? Or are you disconnected? Are we like running away? And just like what you were just saying was reminding me of, like, the world is forging more disconnection on purpose, because it's like a part of the separation of that warfare. So the more disconnected you are,
the more easily controllable you are.
Yeah,
right?
and that.
And it's the inversion of that as
more
well,
lost,
right?
More everything.
But the inversion of that as well, right? Like, disconnection is connection. Connection is disconnection, right?
Expand on that.
So in that regard, when you believe you are truly connecting digitally and with other people, you're actually disconnecting from yourself. So you're not actually giving your authentic version to other individuals a lot of the time. So in that regard, I'm either talking in the digital world,
right,
or in social settings where you are operating under a veil disguise to appear something that which you are not inherently, for social acceptance. So in those two regards, so disconnection is connection, because you're disconnecting from yourself in order to connect, right? And then if you're actually connecting with yourself and speaking truth, a lot of the time people will misinterpret what you were saying as fallacies, and they will believe that you are disconnected, you are off, you're off the rocker. You know what I mean? Whereas you're just speaking a truth that, you have come to see, you have been shown. And that's like, it's interesting, right? You read, it always comes back. It's funny how we read these books in high school, like 1984 and Brave New World, right?
Right.
Like War is Peace.
The
ignorance
flip
is
switch.
wisdom, all these things. Like, it's just and that's the thing, like, the world it's inverting. And like, that's the occult too. It takes everything that is good and inverts it, and it makes that appears that which is good. And what do I say by the occult? That's just what a lot of practices that operate in negative frequencies operate within.
Hidden in plain sight.
Yeah. And they're
In the-
telling
in
you
the
it's
music,
good.
right in the stuff, right?
It's
in
all right in front of
all
us,
the
right?
advertisements and
Programming.
Your programming. Oh, somebody just sent me this thing about the television breakdown. Television.
Precisely
the
so. Yeah.
programming,
Yeah.
the spells, the.
Oh yeah, man.
Try to keep that in from the mic.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to slather that like a dirty waffle, bud.
You're welcome, everybody.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. No, and that's just it, right? Well, just look at how a few generations ago we had nothing, and now we've been thrust into the complete alteration of us biologically and our environments and everything completely and utterly. Like, we live in controlled environments. Like, everything is controlled. Your house is
Disconnected
controlled.
and
Everything
yeah.
you consume is controlled. You don't go out and hunt your own food. You don't grow your own food. So your food supply is controlled. Your water supply is controlled. And yeah, people used to go hungry and they'd go thirsty and whatnot, but they were aware of that consistently. And that actually strengthened their ties amongst one another to go and work harder to get that. And they were cold. They felt the elements consistently. You know, people struggled, but they had what they received what they needed in order to survive from the earth, and they work together to achieve that. Now everyone is so like that's the other thing, we're completely disconnected from where everything comes from. You know, children, like I grew up and I knew not where anything I consumed came from. I was simply a consumer, and it went on that way for a very, very long time, and it still continues to this day. You know, and that's the reality that we're all facing. Disconnected from everything.
Yeah.
You know, and then when those anyways, I don't need to go too deep into this.
Yeah. So let's flip it to the reconnection or the being in a modality of connectivity in a good way with good friends, positive hobbies and pastimes, things that build instead of just blindly take away. Man, I keep on going back to the just like eating properly and not blindly just doing stuff just because, not just taking and unconsciously kind of like being an unconscious like feeder kind of, you know, like it's something I find so difficult still, even though like I'm in a good place.
Like you said, an unconscious feeder. Schwab calls them useless eaters.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that
Well, they probably think that they're just unconsciously consuming going crazy.
Yeah,
and it's like,
wow,
they designed and made a place
society
for
to do
that.
so. They destroyed the previous societies that were operating independently
It's
of
taking
their own
away all your
initiative,
autonomy.
precisely, and then they created societies in which everyone unconsciously consumes to their own detriment, and created industries to service the unconscious consumer that is sick in every, spiritually disconnected, mentally disconnected, physically disconnected. You know, the health crises, mental health crises, spiritual health crises, all of these are occurring simultaneously, and it's all by design. And we can't diminish that fact whatsoever. You know, that's what I was saying beforehand. Like, people weren't just going and working at a desk all day and unconsciously consuming all of these thousands of ingredients on a single thing of food. Like, and they weren't so, they were connected with other human beings, and everyone had difficulties throughout their lives, but they weren't so focused on themselves to the point where it completely overwhelmed them, you know? And then people understood their purpose, you know, to a degree, I could imagine. You know, nowadays people, we all feel that way at times, right? You're disconnected from spirit. You're disconnected from God. So what do you have? Oh, I'm just in a body. I'm just staring
You can't
openly
even,
at the void, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you can't even have a campfire and have warmth and
Otherwise, stormtroopers are gonna drop out of a fucking invisible drone in the sky.
Drone your little fire.
Yeah. Yeah. It is 9:01. Campfires are not permitted past 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We haven't gotten to that point yet. But it's like even before.
Well, people don't even, feel comfortable doing those things anymore.
No.
For the most part.
People like even.
Or they're like, when's the last time you gathered around a fire and like felt the warmth of the spirit, you know?
Like my dad lives in the country, so I go over there often. And have a fire up back there with him. And I go camping in the summer. I try to. But yeah, like I don't have a lot of friends that do that. And then again, I just don't have a lot of friends.
You gotta make a place for it, and make space for good
Yeah, bro.
you know, like connecting little events.
Yeah.
Bonfires.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're going to look back on this conversation in 10 years when we're, like, underground fighting Terminator robots on the surface and, like, battling an artificial intelligence that has a stranglehold on all of human society. Be like, dude, do you remember when we were talking in your basement?
If they even have those kind of thoughts. They're probably just going to go right from their Netflix and their thing, and then go here, do this, get their injection, the future humans.
Oh, no, but us, dude. We'll totally be gorilla rats. Gorilla rats.
Who knows?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not... I can't read into the future, but, you know, ultimately that's the beauty of life is traversing, going forward into the unknown and facing it with courage, you know, and like trying to stay present in that regard as well. Because if you actually do try to see into the future and try to make an accurate, analysis of that and whatnot, that's what gives people anxiety, ultimately. And like depression is thinking about the past, right? So people are like anxious that the past is going to replicate in the future, and it paralyzes you indefinitely, and then you can't actually have a genuine present experience. That's another thing.
Yeah, we got to be willing to like not consent to these things. You know, like just say no. Just say no and keep saying no, and stand up for stuff that we believe in, and try to just make some stands for stuff we believe in, which should be like, you know, the earth and those simple things. But
well,
I wonder when it's going to have more of a mass effect
on humanity.
Well, just like not like kind of in a revolutionary spirit of, it's going to be that you're not standing up for something. It's more that you're saying no and you've had enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when we're led down the corridor of like more insane chaos and like manipulation and deception, like when are we just going to say no? No to it. No to the fake money. No to the, like, they're just fabricating stuff out of thin air.
So like we
Then
sit that
we have no say in like this techno future.
no.
Why do we?
It's all unfolding.
Yeah. Why are we?
It's way bigger than any of
towards
us.
it, and it's just like
'Cause-
are we too busy with Netflix and chilling to really just see what's like coming for us?
Paul, we have no power to alter it. The entire landscape of the world is.
What if everybody
driven
just was like,
towards it.
"Hey, we're not doing
It's not
TVs
happening.
and cell phones."
It's not happening. You know that won't happen. What's gonna happen after this episode? You know what I mean?
Flick to the next thing.
Like even you and I are gonna go back to our, regular schedules, and if it were to come to a boiling point, a lot of people would sacrifice their freedom and autonomy for meager comforts and pleasures. And I just say that because history has proven that time and time and again.
Yeah.
The only thing that's actually ever enacted change is a small group of highly motivated individuals. So, and those highly motivated individuals are typically persecuted en masse, brutally so.
Yeah.
And that is what inspires future generations to pursue the endeavor as well, right? So ultimately it comes in time, but it only happens when it hurts too. Like we haven't really felt the full effect of what's taking place only when people's day-to-day lives and their comfortability are like when that's affected, that's when it starts. Like when it happens in the grocery stores, when the electricity goes off, when curfews are implemented, all of these different things, because historically that's what's happened in war times. And that's when people start to say, hey, enough is enough. What are we going to do about this? But the thing is, people in previous generations as well were a lot more capable. And I mean that in a kind way, than current generations. A lot of knowledge has been lost and it's going to continue more and more, like the more people are programmed through technology, through comfortable lives and whatnot. There's lack of skill, there's lack of knowledge.
Yeah, having 24-hour convenience is not making a formidable
resistance
much yet. The pizza's late.
Yeah. People are complaining about
I'm
that.
mad the pizza's late.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
We're fucking screwed.
Yeah. No, you gotta have faith. There's no such thing as being screwed. Like this,
I know.
This is
I'm thinking of like, dude, the cathartic moment of like when you're about to have a health crisis or something is coming your way, where you're like, oh, now I feel motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now you're going on your knees and praying more wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, can't wait for that. That's like the practice of it is like, we got to start attenuating our souls to like this day and age with those things. We know that it's there, and we know that we can't be like a 24-hour dude. That's what's been bugging me is like the mindless scrolling with the phones, the like constant like whenever you feel any of the emptiness or whatever, you could have another snack or another thing where it's like taking the time to just like
go into that
be
discomfort
uncomfortable
too.
you know, and
you
like
gotta go into it.
Not to toot my own horn, but I just did a 22-hour fast, and that was the longest I've ever done in my whole life. And it was a purposeful purposeful in the sense that I've been wanting to do one. It wasn't nearly long enough. Like, I talked to Kevin for a second. He's like, oh, man, just go 48. I was like, whoa. Oh, that's way too long. But I'm like, the goal was like 3 days, you know? But 22 hours, I got to that point. I was like, oh, man, supper will be so good. You know? And I could just feel my body start tingling and, like, things are starting to work. And then I stopped and I broke the fast. And it's funny to see her. I was like, is that why it's called breakfast? I was like,
Yes.
yeah.
That's exactly why it's
funny,
called.
right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
But, yeah, man. I think, like, we just need that challenge, or we need that, taking that uncomfortable feeling that we know is in a lot of people. And it's like, we got to take that uncomfortable essence and be like, that is the roadmap towards kind of like action and like activities and like, you know what I mean? Like looking at what the reasons are behind it and start like doing this together as a society or as a resistance faction or as something. Just humans.
Yeah,
like,
people should
just
have more
humans. A part of our humanity is like problem solving that.
Yeah, like we got to be in uncomfortable situations. You got to have the discipline to see them through as well. You can't shy away from life itself.
Well, it's like more war is coming.
Yeah, it's only
Like,
going to get more difficult.
What are we waiting for? Like
Yeah,
no
prepare
trees,
now.
no rainforest. Like,
Yeah.
dude, that's concerning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, 80%, like something of the BC rainforest is cut. Dude, what? Like, that's kind of what the song is.
Well, there's
It's
a lot
like,
of trees in Canada. I don't think 80% of the BC rainforests are cut.
No, I
That
mean,
would be interesting to
just
look up.
something that it's like unsatiable. That's always been the thing. Is like keep going.
Well,
you know?
most of Canada's concentrated in metropolitan cities on the southern tip of the country. Like the country's really enormous. There's a lot of nature,
Yeah.
you know, and it's the same thing all around the world. And the thing is, like, give it one generation without humanity or like reduced humanity, and like nature comes back pretty quickly. That's why we are where we're at right now, because we've been fighting against nature because it's been kicking our ass throughout history, and we've been fighting against history for, you know, safety, comfort. You know, we're either fighting nature or we're fighting other humans. You know,
Yeah, I wonder how quickly
That's why, like-
it develops into the actual Matrix.
in what regard?
Well, it's like really getting hooked up to that mushy thing, and then you're like, oh well, if I could just rather be in the VR headset and be experiencing and like doing stuff and having
That's what they want everyone to be doing in the future.
more life and autonomy in the fake world, and then you're getting your nutrients, and then you're just like kind of with a guy on a chair,
Just a blob.
which is a lot of what a lot of
People do.
a lot of people do anyways. So it's not like that.
Not in
crazy.
Africa or the Middle East, they don't.
Well, no, but
Or in like Eastern Europe, and there's still like, I don't know, man. I think it's like just a city thing to a large extent. But then again, the technology's everywhere now. Even I was in the gym the other day.
yeah, everybody. This is what I'm saying. Everybody's got the cell phone now.
Yeah,
and they tried to
it's
make it so
fucking
that
whack.
every single person could be scrolling and be hooked into that grid, and that is the like.
You're being mined for
That's
your.
the
You are the
leash.
resource.
Yeah, you are the.
You're the data.
product. You're
Is
the product.
Well, that's what's creating artificial intelligence. Is all of that.
Oh man.
Machine learning. You're being mined. Yeah. Well, on that note, it's just important to take charge of your life individually, of where you're at. Take note of it and improve each and every day, and you know, come together with other people who are doing the same thing, and you know, try to implement awareness of everything that's going on, but everything that's unfolding shall unfold. Like, it's really difficult. Like, when the gears are in motion, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you can go form a rubber band with humans around town hall and be like, we're going to shut down your corporation. We're going to shut down your data center. We're going to shut down your government. You know?
You're like, we're gonna become healthy and grounded.
Yeah. But a lot of people, like,
and-
that takes self-autonomy and responsibility, you know? That takes human beings to be adults.
But that is kind of the coolest thing to do. Also,
It is, yeah.
once you, yeah, that mobilization of self towards a good end, and yeah, not having the fear of judgment and different other stuff. It's never too late to start on a good path and a simple path, something that just works for you that you could make happen. Oh man, yeah.
But that simple path is different for each and every human being,
Yeah,
and yet ever so similar too. You know, we all yearn for peace and quiet.
What
Stillness.
let's ask the audience. What is your way to what did you just say?
We all yearn for peace.
Well, no, like our different paths towards that.
Oh yeah. We all have different
A
paths.
different path towards like finding yourself.
Absolutely.
Share
yeah.
that in the comments. Anybody, if you have a unique way that's worked for you, put it out there because it's all different for everybody.
Yeah.
And
Because we want to see if it'll work for us too.
yeah, we want to share that and get it out there and have positive interactions that could bounce off and be helpful and useful for people. I know, like the running was like the big one for me was running and just like trying to get my lungs back to breathe.
Yeah.
You know, like I couldn't have. Nothing really functions without that lung chooch.
No. Yeah, I hear you in that regard. for me, it's always been music and writing, and then obviously like exercise. Running helped a lot, and I started doing that more consistently.
What else was it for you? Because for me, I was always doing the music really well and writing and like journaling and introspection and stuff. But it's like it didn't put me over the top. That's for sure.
More than anything, mine has been sitting in stillness and praying.
Okay.
Yeah. That's helped me tremendously. And like with intention as well. You know what I mean? Like not just sitting there empty-mindedly, like actually discerning what is occurring within myself as I'm in that state and journaling that out and continuing that consistently. Like working through it all.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's been a huge...
I was going to say, just to share with the audience that I saw Brandon a lot this summer leave to the backyard in the morning to do just that. Take out his journal book, sit in the sun or sit on the stones out there and just like, take time to yourself to just be there and to, pray or do whatever you're doing, discernment. And, it must have had a profound effect because you're taking precious time for yourself. It's like, probably nourishing, like in a good way.
And it has to be done. Like, it's not like it does anything for you instantaneously. It's consistency. Like doing that, like having the discipline to implement it constantly in your day-to-day life, taking that time. Because otherwise it all falls apart. And I think that's the biggest thing too, is actually developing that consistency and that discipline and adding to it more and more.
Probably starting with the morning is a good
way. Yeah, you should start your morning off.
A good morning start.
Positively.
Set up your day, right? Yeah, I want to do that more mindfully too.
Yeah.
This year. More better morning starts, setting up the day for even better results and mindset.
Yeah, I struggle with that tremendously. I'm not a morning person at all, but everything I do, like professionally and whatnot, requires me to be up early. So
yeah,
it is when you can accomplish the most. You don't feel lethargic when you wake up if you actually just get a good 6-7 hours and then get at it. Don't be a sloth.
7, 8, 8.5,
9, 10. Stay in bed all day.
Sleep is good for you.
Yeah. But too much sleep is not. But what about you, Paul? What has been the biggest thing for yourself in your journey? Have you found it to be your running?
I guess, the running was a big one. Sharing and having the moments of, just kind of being open to people in a more personal level and a way of, encouragement and, just trying to portray the, like, that bigger picture stuff as like a fun, joyful, peaceful process, because it's like after the first year I felt so much peace, like coming to my inner self, that I was like, oh man, like this is great. Like it wasn't like I'm missing so much and I'm giving up something, and it's like, oh no, I was like gaining everything and getting more blessed and then feeling so much better and then feeling like more joy and peace than ever before. And it was like kind of, when your cup is overflowing, then you got to kind of like start sharing it and putting it out, So that just became part of like the more productive, more kind of just like being able to do that stuff, asking more people, hey man, you want to come do a run? You want to come do this? You want to go do that? And trying to seek out ways to like maybe be of service to somebody or to do the community stuff. And smudging obviously was still a big component, and like grounding in gratitude and prayer, and then like sharing that also with people was like very like a part of my recipe. It's like, yeah, having a spiritual moment where you're kind of like going deeper rather than shallow, and like being there for a bit and trying to find that gratefulness and uplift. And I don't know if that answers the question, but something that process and like the continued process of that and being challenged and sticking to something, finding where it's like I was very undisciplined for such a long time, finding that discipline and then being like, oh, discipline's a positive thing. It's a great thing. It's not something that you want to like shirk or be like, oh, I'm rebelling against it. It's like, no, like it was something that I started to love, being like, oh, I'm showing up and being consistent for myself. That's self-love in a deep way. And then just continually doing that, I'm like, dude, I love myself. That's why I do this stuff.
Precisely, yeah.
I'm worth it. You're worth it. It's like when you do these things, you're doing it for that inner child and that person that deserves love and self.
Well, it's also a tough world out there in reality. So you got to be tough, man. You got to be strong. You got to have the discipline to follow through with things.
That too, yeah. For sure.
Like let's not sugarcoat it. I don't see the need for us to be like, oh, it's like this, like I'm doing it. It's like, no, actually, we need to be disciplined and strong because it's a difficult world. Like, life's not easy. Yeah. It's not meant to be easy. It never has been. It never will be for any human being throughout existence. And if you want it to be easy, then you will be in that movie WALL-E in a chair having a Slurpee, fat as fuck, with no mind of your own and just, claiming to be the victim of your own story, which is so inherent. We've all been through the archetypes, whether they're negative or positive, but like that's the reality. If you don't show up for yourself and put in the work, don't expect.
Going through those stages of grief, it's like sadness and bitterness and then anger and then whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of it, it's like action and go time.
Yeah, man.
And be like, all right, growing and accepting and understanding and then fucking kicking ass pretty much.
Yeah.
And totally. That warrior spirit has to come back and be like, hey, we got a big purpose here. And
we got a really big purpose here. There's lots of stuff to be done.
Purpose.
Oh, man. I say that and then Delta Force kicks in the door. Don't laugh about it. It ain't funny.
Yeah. It's like happening to people.
We're like talking about staying hard meanwhile. People like that exist. They live that.
Yeah, there's levels to it, but I pray for those guys too.
The soldiers at the highest echelon.
Well, and the people that we think are the billionaire evil people. It's the God and Creator and like the spirits work in mysterious ways, and I think like we still gotta keep the bigger judgments at bay and be like, hey man, at the end of the day, we're on a spiritual journey. It's still fair game. There's always redemption right to the last second. And like, if you can't understand them and it's hard to understand them, then, we got to pray for them, pray that their hearts are warmed up, pray that the spirit works in a mysterious way that shows them some sort of, emotional something, understanding,
salvation,
compassion,
be touched by God,
and the cool way that has an effect, or like that's the thing that drives me nuts is that there's so much potential, exponential potential. The last podcast, but like if you had like a world of free people with unlocked potential and that they were no longer like traumatizing the shit out of each other, then you're like, what could you do? It's unbelievable. The economy would be booming. It's like, but
the spiritual economy would be reflecting right down into the physical economy. We could have heaven
right
on
to
earth.
The earth and like the animals, and like there could be this like amazing harmony and like unity, which I feel that is the destiny, and it's not just complete warfare forever. So it's like being on that. I think that is the thing. That's kind of like the lion and the lamb and whatever.
Mm.
And I hope and pray for that, because I think that would be the, if we were meant to go to the stars and be a part of bigger stuff too, that's the way we would do it, is by proving that we're worthy and we're friendly and that we're trustworthy. Dude, if you're not trustworthy, it's got to be a global trustworthiness where it's like one block, 10,000 miles is the enemy. Dude, they're exactly the same of us and think the same way as us.
Yeah,
and think we're the enemy. So it's like, obviously we're not the enemy. We're just people.
It's like this book I read called The Forever War by Joseph Haldeman, and humanity's in like a millennia-long war against this alien species, and no one even remembers why they're at war, like way down the road. And then when they finally actually communicate with the alien species, they're like asexual, almost like androids who don't know why they were in the war to begin with either, but they thought they were just defending themselves indefinitely. It was never passed down the generations, and it was the same thing with the humans and whatnot. And we're doing that with ourselves, Yeah. And like, it's so easy to strip away the humanity from a human being, like in our day-to-day lives. We're getting desensitized to empathy, to connection, to love, to compassion, to the virtues. And that's what we have to implement into our lives if we want to see a change. And ultimately, it only starts with individuals. Individuals have to enact that. You want to see a change in the world? That's why that quote says you have to be it. Ultimately, you're the only individual who can alter their path. Everyone has free will. You got to alter your own path. You have to make that conscious decision. Each human being has to do so as well.
Start today, folks.
Yes.
Start today.
Times are changing as they're rearranging all of our points of view. What is even true? Is it superseding the energy depleted? A change of sustenance, yet there is no substance. Rise like a morning sun, never hold your tongue, and we will never run. Rise like a morning sun, never hold your tongue, and we will never run. Feel locked deeply, it's full yet empty. It's nonchalant. Pull the point but not too fast. It'll lead to the crash of a fading hourglass. 'Cause we're lost in the past. Yeah, we're lost in the past. Rise like a morning sun, never hold your tongue, and we will never run. Rise like a morning sun, never hold your tongue, and we will never run. So give me a sign, tell me I'm fine, while I wait for the end. So give me a sign, tell me I'm fine, while I wait for the end. Well, this is the end, here comes the end. This is the end, well, this is the end, here comes the end. This is the end. That guitar sounds so nice, man.
Yeah, I gotta learn that song better. This is the end. What's that chorus again?
This is the end. Here
No.
comes. Oh, so give me a
Rise like the morning
sign.
sun.
Yeah, rise like a morning sun. Never hold
Do
your
it, they'll
tongue.
sing it again?
Yeah, yeah. Rise like a morning sun. Never hold your tongue, and we will never run. Rise like a morning sun. Never hold your tongue, and we will never run.
Cool.
Yeah, brother.
All right, so final words.
Of encouragement, you know,
Stay hopeful.
that's all you can do, you know, and
Make those small changes for yourself that you can muster.
yeah, I'd say open your heart. I think that's one thing that I'm working on more than anything all the time. And, you know, by opening your heart, you're choosing not to be afraid in this world. And that's what's going to build your resilience and strength of character, you know, by truly being that which you are. And that's all you can do in this world, man.
If you're stuck with feelings about yourself and your own stuff,
Go
maybe
outside.
Go outside. Help somebody else out.
Take a walk.
Do something selfless for something.
Start small, man. Start small.
Clean your room.
Okay, Jordan Peterson.
Huh?
Okay, Jordan Peterson.
Clean your room.
That's like what the Yoda version of him. I hope
kinda true.
I hope he's doing well. He's been really sick for a while.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Onwards and upwards.
Yeah, man.